What's good, family, and welcome to another episode of Jimmy Bond's podcast, right here on WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. What's good, family? What's good? What's good? What's good? Remember, you can always call us with your comments, your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. And I got the squad with us today. I got the team here with us. So what's up to my man Taxi? Why was good to how you feeling?
Yo, all good in the neighborhood, JB. Live from the 215.
Live from the 215. And I can't say it's all good in the neighborhood because my man over here working the board like he over here doing the surgery. He's doing surgery right here.
Give me the scalpel.
He needs a scalpel and some scrubs on this board. He's over here working it. But we working it, we live. That's all that matters. Live from the 215, the 610, the 484, the 267, the 202, all my people in DC, the 410, all my people in Baltimore,
right.
301, all my people in Maryland,
212,
212, all my people up in New York.
Yep.
That's NY. What's on that? 404, all my people in Atlanta. This is how we gonna do it. Shout out to my fam, everybody listening tonight. We gonna keep it moving. Hey, you know I can't forget my other co-host. How could I forget my other co-host, Miss Lady T? What's up, T? How you feeling, mama?
How you doing, radio family? Thank you for the red carpet and flowers. I appreciate them.
Oh, well, you know you get bouquets of them, mama. Bouquets of them. Move right along, family. Matter of fact, you can always follow us on Instagram at Jimmy Bond's Podcast, on Twitter at Podcast Bonds. I ain't on Twitter no more. Forget that. On TikTok at Jimmy Bond's Podcast. And make sure you join Jimmy Bond Podcast Facebook group. Let's continue to open the dialogue because we need to talk about some stuff nowadays.
We do.
Nowadays, we need to talk about some stuff. But with that being said, introduce the team. The squad deep. I got my brother in the building tonight with his family. My brother, my podcast brother. That's how I introduce him to everybody. I'd be like, welcome to the show. They'd be like, yo, this is my podcast brother. She'd be like, what is that? What is a podcast brother?
Well, hold on. Do he get like a whole drum roll or a red carpet?
He's gonna get a red carpet. He's a resident on the program. That's what he is. He's a podcast resident or guest resident. He comes on whenever we need him to come on.
Family, man.
Oh, all day long. All day long.
Family, man.
And pretty soon we're paying him a salary.
There you go. Hey.
But my man, over 100 episodes, been in the radio game for over 20 years. Done knocked out many interviews with some of the greatest celebrities that you know about and some you don't know about. Talk to the superstars, talk to the common folk. Been in the game for a minute. Talk to him about how he feel, how he personally feels. Tell stories, does interviews. Podcast man, got me started. Push me along every day. Tell me how I'm supposed to do it.
Preach.
You know who I'm talking about. Mr. 100th episode himself, no other than my brother, Terrence Henry, from the Terrence Henry Experience. Give it up for my brother in the building. Give my brother in the building. Give it up my brother in the building.
Oh, man, that energy was crazy, man. Damn, Jim. Yo, Jim, man. Now I see why when they do these intros, they be like, yo. Like, god damn.
That's a freestyle for you on that one.
Damn, man.
Yeah, freestyle that one. I know this one.
You done got the game. God darn it.
Nice.
I appreciate that, man.
That's how I keep them coming.
Man,
if you know what I mean.
Man, thanks for the invite,
listen,
man.
bro, you got to listen. As I say with all our guests, and particularly you in particular, you deserve every bit of it, bro.
I appreciate it.
Deserve every bit of it.
Good job.
Let's kick the show off. Let's talk about a little something. You know, this week, this show, we're going to talk about voting. Okay. Every voice, every vote, West Philly Voices, as we do each and every week. We're going to finish up this project, family, but voting is important. It's a vital aspect of our community, a vital aspect of our livelihood. But before we talk about voting, I did something this weekend.
Yeah, you did.
Ty?
Yeah.
Brag on.
I had two people here. I had T and I had T here, both Terrence and T. And they came to the show.
Yeah, what show, Jimmy? What you talking about?
So, family, for those who don't know, I tried my hand, or rather, went back into the acting game.
Went back.
And stepped on the stage again in the play. And did a play this weekend. Shout out to my man Rick Watson, the whole squad, the whole
Rick?
team. Shout out to my man Rick Watson and Rick Watson Productions.
Yo, what's up, man?
Did his play, Barbershop, this weekend. It was past weekend. T and Terrance was there. What did y'all think about it? Y'all was there. Y'all saw the play.
Excellent job, yo. Excellent job.
I really, man, like, because we've been talking, like, all, like, like for the whole month of this about you doing this, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, you never really talked about it no more.
Mm-mm.
He was all quiet and shy about it.
Wasn't he? And I'm like, yo, but I was like, yo, are you studying your lines, bro? Because we
Look, I asked him. I was like, you need somebody to bring your lines with you?
Jim came, natural, bro.
Yes, very natural.
Supernatural.
Like you had been doing it your whole entire life.
You wasn't scared. You wasn't nervous and nothing like that. You came out with that fro in your head.
No, honey, no. We're not talking about the fro. We talking about the Rick James braids, okay?
Oh, yeah, the braids. Yo, she did that right on stage.
Yo, she did though.
Yo, that wig almost came off.
Yo, it sure did. You see what's the name though?
You saw your head.
Yo, you saw my head with the little fishnet wig cap on the joint.
Excellent work. Excellent work.
I was like, yo. It's like, yo, she about to mess this joint up.
Job.
I appreciate y'all, man.
You look really natural on the stage, man. Congratulations.
I've been telling people, I've got a friend of mine. She don't know, or she knows, and what she says a lot of times is I really evolve like an onion. So unless you ask me certain things, I'm not going to tell you, So I was talking to my brother yesterday. See, you know my little brother.
Yeah.
He was talking to me yesterday. He was like, and we all grew up doing plays and acting and that kind of thing. I was like, yeah, bro, I did a play this weekend. He was like, what? You did what? You did a play? Why you ain't say nothing? Mm-hmm. My whole family was like, why you ain't say nothing? Mm-hmm. I've really been on my incognito these days.
No, I get it.
Like I should be promoting and posting and all kind of stuff, but I've really been like focused on.
Did you think they wasn't going to show?
Oh no, they would have came. They wanted to come.
Do bad?
No, I wasn't even afraid I was gonna do bad. Okay. It wasn't even that. It wasn't nothing intentional. It wasn't like I was like, yo, I'm about to just not tell nobody. Right. It's kind of like I got into a routine of how the week went. Okay. And because of how that routine went, my brain was just on that routine. Okay. So Monday, team meeting. Right? Right. Tuesday, rehearsal. Right? Wednesday, show. Thursday, lay my black, down and do nothing. Right. Friday, okay, now I got to get ready for something else. Weekend come around, now I get ready for my kids. Right back again Monday, do the same thing over again. So I'm doing this routine the whole time, and I'm looking up like, dang, I ain't tell nobody about this play.
Well, this is the part where I apologize to you because I was like, hold on, do you got the information to this? And did you get the phone number for that? And did you call so-and-so? And did you get in contact with blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, you understood.
I didn't. Yeah, now I understand.
Yeah, my whole life and world was just like, yeah, Jimmy, you can have to shut out, but I'm glad I did that because I actually got to tap into something I knew I had, but just hadn't done it in a while. Mm-hmm. So it was refreshing to do it and then be like, yo, I'm actually pretty good at this. I like to do this. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely going to try my hand again. So if you would like to cast me for your play or your movie or your short film, holla at your boy. I'm getting into this acting game, getting into it. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the actors and actresses that was in this genre, the team, everybody who put it together, the stage team, all that. You know what I'm saying? Yo. But shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Yeah. See over there laughing. What's he over there laughing? Right?
Inside joke. I get it. I get it.
But on to the next, family. About this voting. See, what I wanted to talk about this in terms of just talk about voting because, me and Terrance have these conversations about certain things all the time. Mm-hmm. And I remember right before the election, I was talking to you about voting. Right. And you were telling me kind of like you was like, you know what, Jim? I don't know if I can vote for her. Mm-hmm. And you were talking about the pressure from your family. Right. How everybody was like, yeah, you should be voting for such and such. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that, just from your perspective as a black man in Philadelphia, which is considered a liberal city, right? Feeling like your needs weren't being met by these candidates.
So definitely don't want to come off as ignorant or nothing like that, but you think about what's changed, right? Like what's changed, right? And when you don't really see a significant change, you kind of feel like, well, we keep going in these circles, right? Yeah. We can talk about all the things that are going to happen, right? And I kind of feel like those things just wasn't happening. I mean, just basically like, I always tell people, as long as you pay your taxes, got a job, do what you need to do. What has changed? Especially in our situation as black men, it's a lot of things and regulations, even that's not even what voting for either what party, whether it be for Kamala, whatever, if I'm saying I can name correctly, Trump, but it really all starts with, your state representative. It really starts there, those changes. and then it goes up. But we're worrying about the outcomes on that. It's like, what? This can affect us. Let me ask you, what's changed so far or cause and effect for you since he's been in office? Did anything besides the adversity thing, of course, but other than that, what really has changed as a black man being from Philly? And my barber said something. He said, you got to get hit with something. You either going to get hit with child support, either been locked up, either one of the two, one of them. Mine's child support, right? The only thing that I would say is, you know, they always get those voting text messages things on my phone. So I would reply. So I was like, yo, y'all gonna take me off of child support? Like, y'all want me to vote?
Right.
You want me to vote? Like, you know, like, take me off this. And thank you very much. We won't be texting you back. And they still text me back. And I'm just like, yo, like, I'm still paying.
Yo, did you have them dudes show up at your door to ask you what's important?
Yo,
they ask you the 4 things. Can you give us the 4 things that are important for you as far as your vote? What are you going to be voting for this term around?
I don't even ask. I said, take me off of child support. That's all I ever kept asking them. Nobody has an answer for that.
Yo, show them to the door. Don't let them. It was an Asian dude. It was a black dude. It was a white dude. All 3 of them showed up in my house because when you register to vote, this people don't know. We register to vote. They have a docket of your address. So they show up at your door around voting season. Yeah, your address, your phone number, your email. All right. So they show up at your door and they come to your door. They be like, "Are you voting this cycle? Who are you voting for? And what are you voting for? What's important to you about voting?" And you know, some people give different answers. Terrance's answer was child support.
Okay.
What else, sir? Child support.
So now,
just get me off of it. How? I'm a vote and then still get locked up. Let's start making sense of this.
And after you get locked up, you can't vote after you get locked up.
Right. So wait a minute. So hear me out. I can vote.
Yo.
But then after I vote, I skip that payment.
Yo, you can't vote again.
Ain't that
cannot vote again. So that's what Terrance is voting for. T,
okay, no.
Say?
Now, see, my question is, like, I hear him screaming child support.
Yeah.
I get it. But what is it about the child support that you're so against? Is it like, are you spending time with your kid and still have to pay for your kid? Do you have full custody of your kid and you're paying to the mom? Like, what's your beef?
Not to get impersonal about me, but for all the brothers out there who are really good fathers, who really work hard every day, who get up in the morning, do what they have to do. We're locked into a system that don't give a damn about us. And the fact that we get harassed for asking us to do these changes, but it's nothing changing anything what we have going on. That's why the black male, that's why we didn't get the vote. That's one of the reasons why. Because we are in this stigma now, and it's just like, yo, we're Democrat. And it's like, yo.
What have they done for me lately?
Yeah, and it's just like, yo, what do y'all want us to do? There's nothing happening. And then it's like, if I'm going to a job and then I'm getting something taken out of my check, not only I'm getting something taken out of my check, right? So say if I'm getting $25 an hour, I'm not getting 25, right? I'm getting 19, 18. And you're still trying to survive. You still got to try to survive off of that. You know what I mean? You can't complain. You can't do these things, but you keep telling me to do something that most of us are enraged about. We can't complain about it. We can't say nothing about it, but we have to go on and just do what y'all tell us to do without these things happening. Most of these things, every time you go down there or whatever the case may be, whatever, is not in our favor.
You talk about family court?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's like cattle. But the thing is that they're screaming, vote for her. I'm not voting for her. I don't care about him, really. And it's just like, it doesn't matter. Pay your taxes. Make sure your child support is paid on time because they coming. Oh, they coming. Listen, let me tell you what happened to me. No, this is a true story,
Talk about
bro.
it, T. Talk
true
about
story.
it, bro.
This happened to me.
Talk about it, bro.
I remember the guy was like, Terrance, I need you to come down. For what? We had missed 2 payments from you. Bro, things are going to happen. I can't give you it all the time.
You say, I don't work in the payroll department.
No, I don't know what's going on. I gotta go. Listen, I'm down there. I see a dude with gray hair that's bald-headed on both sides. Mr. Henry, what's going on? I said, I just paid y'all. He said, okay, that's it. You made me waste time from my job that you could have told me over the phone.
Because you called me the first time, you couldn't call me again.
Right. So now it's like, it's like, okay, you know what your ancestors did to vote? I understand what they did. That's back then.
Okay.
It's not working now.
Okay.
None of it's working now. But we don't talk about this, though. We're not supposed to talk about this, though. We're supposed to just shut up, vote, and just say, okay, and then go about our lives as if anything is supposed to change.
Okay. So my question to you is,
okay,
what would be your solution to the whole child support system that you have a problem with? What's your solution or your suggestion?
Solution to the first of all, if you're working, and if the whether it be a woman or male that's paying for it, they're consistently taking care of their child and they can show proof that they are, they should not be on there.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
They should not be on there. There's no reason. You know what's funny? Why is it that it's always the good ones that's on child support, but the ones that don't do nothing, they ain't on there? You know why they not on there? Because they not showing up and they don't care. Yeah. The ones that do care, the ones that do care, go ahead, are always down there. Go ahead, T.
No. Listen, when I asked him to come on the show, right?
We already knew.
I had a hunch of what I was gonna get because I get it most of the time. But I was like, oh, he gonna lay flame on this show like that. Welcome to the show, T. Welcome to the show.
You keep on saying T. I'm getting confused.
And somebody say facts too. Somebody said I was saying what was facts.
It is facts. It is facts. Go ahead, Ty. What you gonna say?
No, to piggyback on what he's saying though, the system is not designed in our favor.
Okay.
So for one child, you have two courts. You have a child support court and you have a child custody court.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work in our favor. It should be just one court.
There you go.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So they can get you on custody. You can get like partial custody, but you still have to pay.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Are you allowed to claim your child at the end of the year? I mean,
no, I'm not. No. Wow. And I have partial custody of my daughter. So just think of it like this, right? I'll give you an example.
So you're not getting the $3,000 back for your kid?
No.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild.
I'll put it to you like this. So imagine you work, get your check every 2 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. It's my time to have my daughter, right? But they take out the child support every 2 weeks. I'm struggling. Now I got to figure out, not only am I paying you, I have my daughter. That money that you taking out, that could have been for us.
Right. You could have been feeding her with
right,
that money.
Exactly. But since this thing is like, it's not, I can see if it was where the other person is really struggling, right? Mm-hmm. And they really, really need the money, right? I could definitely understand that. We can talk, we can communicate, we can make something work. They don't want that. They just want the control. Okay. Once they have the control and dictate, it's like, not only you're hurting yourself, you're hurting the child. Because the state, they don't give you the money right away when you take out the check. It's a waiting factor. Mm-hmm. So they don't get that money right away. I haven't received my pay. You could have got it right away. Your character is very important when it comes to your child. If you tell me, hey, this is what I need from you every 2 weeks, you'll get it. Mm-hmm. Right off the bat. Okay. But the fact that you go through the state or the whatever, it takes time. They dictate when you get that money. Okay. So you got to call it down to your third party, right? And let them know I'm not getting the check. They're like, it's going to take some time. But if you just communicate, it's that. But they want to be in control, whether it be male or female that put them on it. I ain't putting a woman on child support. This is I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. But this is the things that you go through. So what happens? You got to go down there and tell them about your life as if they care. They don't care. They don't choose to care. They look at you as like, okay, we don't care. This is what we ask from you. This is what we need from you. And if you miss any payment or so, guess what? It's all on you. It's 6 months in jail. They strip you from your license. I'll tell you a story since we want to talk about voting with all this voting stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, because I'm about to ask you a heated question, but go ahead with your story.
No, I'm going to tell you what happened to me, right? I'll never forget this story. I had saved up some money in my account, in my savings account. Mm-hmm. I had money in my savings.
Okay.
I go to the market one day to swipe my card for groceries. It kept declining. I'm like, why is my card declining? It's a Friday afternoon. Going to the market. I'm going to the market. Get some food. I was like, okay, let me call. Now, it's still a little early. I can call. I was like, my card's declining. The bank says, oh, Mr. Henry, your bank account is frozen. Because of a couple things here. Maybe because of some garnishment, child support. I said, wait a minute, what? That day, I got a letter in the mail saying, I didn't even know it. your bank account has been frozen because they found extra money in my savings account. So wait a minute, my account, my grandmother and my account are linked together because I helped with the money, right? They froze my account and my grandmother's. We didn't have no money for the week. For Friday to Monday, we couldn't do nothing. But you want me to vote. So wait a minute, T, this is even getting funnier.
Mhm.
I had to, on Monday, not only did I have to call the person that I had the chat that with,
Mhm.
that she dictates that. When I went to the bank, you know what they told me? They was like, how much money you want to take out? I told them, you know what they say to me? Well, we're going to have to penalize you for taking out your money. Oh, yeah. I still had to do it, right? Not only did I get penalized from the bank, I couldn't even get another savings account until another 6 months or so because they found I had money left over. But this is what I'm saying. You want me to vote. You want me to vote. So when I'm looking at this voting thing, I'm like, okay, what is it changing for any of us? Because who is it really for? Is it really for us? Whether it be for my situation or others, what are we voting for? What are we voting for? Because whatever's in the plan, it was already written for them. Everything on TV, to me, is just entertainment. That's all it is. It's entertainment. It's not working.
This is my question.
Go ahead. What's the question?
Okay, so apparently you have this big beef when it comes down to child support, and you just explained it, and
we
I get
all
it.
got problems with child support.
Okay. All right, now here we go. Can you explain to me the difference from how a Democrat may handle a child support situation versus how the Republicans handle a child support situation?
That's the problem.
Okay, so who's better, or who has the better plan when it comes down to child support?
There's no plan.
So it doesn't matter who you vote for, you still getting screwed regardless?
You don't get screwed regardless because it's
Okay.
money, right?
Okay.
So I'm sure, I'm tired, you know this, right? You've been history buff. You know where child support come from?
Comes from far as
Where did it start?
I mean, it's over in England. It came over from England.
Right, it did. But did you know why they brought it here? So apparently, from what I was told, in World War I or II, it was for the women because the guys went over to war.
I remember, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what it was for. But then they was like, wait a minute, there's some money in this.
Wow.
So let's just keep it. So then it comes to over to urban area. Not only from it, it's like, wait a minute, it's a lot of people ain't down here. It's systematically systemized, if I'm using the correct terms here, it's designed for you to fail. It's worse than probation. It's worse than probation. Either way, I can still somewhat get locked up, regardless of what it is.
No, well, I mean, but pretty much having babies can get you locked up.
Wait, let's think about it. If I don't have a job, right? Yeah. If I don't work, how am I supposed to pay for it? So that means that if I get fired from my job, at this point, why should I even be worried about the job? I got to worry about downtown. So now I got to explain to downtown my situation. They don't care.
Right.
This is why we have these things going on. But they want us to vote. They want us to vote. I'm getting these text messages. They want us to vote. Mayor Kenny, all of them, I don't know. All the no. Doesn't work. Sherelle Parker, I get it. The first black, I get it. Shout outs to her. But these are problems that we have. State representatives in our communities, they sit back and babysit. Half of them in our community don't know who their state representatives is. Why? Because they just sit there to babysit, right? All of it is designed. Half a councilman, right? Downtown or what? They're black.
Yeah, most of them. Yeah.
They're black, right? So.
No, it's about 80%.
Sorry,
it's about 80%.
80% black, right? So why are we having these problems? So why? So my thing is that we're having problems, but they're not getting resolved. Yeah, the city do get money. They get funding, they get all this, but we don't know about it. And you know what happened? We don't know about it. They get that kickback.
It goes to the people that do know about it.
It is the American dream. They have funded. They were like, well, wait a minute, how'd you get that? Well, you got to go down there and find out because they're not going to tell you.
Jimmy, we're about to go on the politics show.
No, I'm just saying. And I'm not trying to be, listen, I'm not knocking nobody for voting. I'm not knocking nobody for vote who they want to vote for. I'm not saying that. But it's like with the real problems that we do have, for us, they never come up. They never come up.
Okay, so outside of your child support,
Yeah.
what else you got a problem with?
You know what I'm gonna do? I got something for me on the other side on the next hour, the next segment.
Okay.
I got something for him to also talk about because. When was
I'm just loving the energy.
Talk about when was the last time you heard me sit on a show and not say anything for 20 minutes? When was the last time that happened?
We've had some guests that they had quite a lot to say.
True that, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't even about that. It was about like he is right on so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
Child support. If you
number one on the list.
If I hear my little brother talk to me about child support, he sounds just like Terrance. You know what I mean? And it's not like my thing about it is that like you said, you can't complain. Because everybody gonna be like, well, you shouldn't have made no baby.
Yeah, you can't complain. You can't say nothing.
You shouldn't have made no baby.
You know who I talk to about it? A tree, because they never respond.
Yes. and they will agree. They will agree with everything.
Yeah, I sit there and I just go to a tree and I just talk about it.
You are right.
You know what I did one time? I told the guy downtown. He said something to me downtown. I said, you know what? I said, I don't know what's going to happen to this, but God's on my side. It got to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because it's like, get there, man.
Yo, they want to see you just, it's like they waiting for it.
I say this. I pray, and the good ones, I think you made a good point. I think what we got to do as a community, particularly with child support, is educate our community on child support.
Okay. I
think if we educate them on what child support is, how it hinders our families and communities, how it is a 18 to 20 year prison sentence instead of being a parental, instead of us being parents. Jail. We're always on the side of I have to try to figure out how not to go to jail. And that has nothing with the money I give you has nothing to do with me being a father, right?
Right.
The money the way I support my child is what really has to that determines how I'm being a father. If you just equate money and how much money I have, any regular dude with money can give a woman money and be like, I'm a father. That's not what a father is.
Right.
So if I got thousands of dollars, I don't really even have to worry about my kids. I can just pay child support and I'm good, right?
Yeah.
But if I don't have thousands of dollars,
right,
and
all of a sudden you become a bad dad.
Yeah, and then I'm a bad father, even though I had partial custody of my child.
Right.
Even though I'm in my child's life, I know what's going on at school. I'm going to doctor's appointments, science projects, homework, the whole thing. If I don't pay that $385 that's due every 2 weeks, I'm a bad dad.
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yes.
Ooh.
I'm a bad dad. I'm a bad father. What's up?
They don't care.
They don't.
I always go back to
they don't care.
I always go back to when you register something with the state, you give up your natural rights.
Yep.
So when children are born, the first thing we have to do is register them to the state.
There you go.
So they become the state's property.
Ward of the state.
So they are the state's property until either the mother or the father goes down there
and files custody.
Or they should both go down together
and file
custody together, but we're not taught that.
Yep. I just filed custody. I just filed custody for my kids this summer.
But it shouldn't be that way.
All right, well, I'm going to get full, but then now I got to deal with.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, at some point, like, you got to get out. I wish that if the emotions of it all, it's not about you.
Right.
And you always try to, you can't even, sometimes you can't even explain that part. Because then you got to get a whole hassle, the yelling, and it's just like, you know what? Only thing that you can do is just be centered. And be quiet and just don't say nothing.
Focus on the facts.
But if both parties, mother and father were both educated beforehand that, if you have a child, the first thing y'all should do is go down there and y'all both claim full custody.
Yeah. Don't be running around. Listen.
That's something that needs to be taught beforehand.
Period. It needs to be taught. It needs to be in your civics class in high school, because these kids can make babies. Hold on.
You need to be in that parenting class that they give you the 9 months before the kid comes along. Listen, they ain't teaching that either.
In the parenting class, in the freshman civics class, in the
don't drop the egg.
And the next year, whatever sophomore class that you're going to take, start teaching these kids. That's too much like right though. That's too much like the right thing.
Man,
so I'm not even gonna go there.
I wouldn't even wish on my worst enemy.
I wouldn't either.
That's how bad it is.
I wouldn't either.
But I will say, not even just the gripe with the voting thing, man. It's just like, I just use that portion of it because it really sticks out. The only thing that I've heard, but I don't know that it's true, right,
Good.
is the fact that you, as at the end of the year with the taxes, they said that as far as with the child support, that the person on child support can claim taxes. I don't know how true that is or whatever. I know that was something that they said Trump was trying to do. I don't know if it's true or not.
Like, all this money I'm paying into this kid, you mean I don't get nothing back come the end of the year?
I don't claim my daughter on my taxes. You know what I'm saying?
See, that would be an issue because only one parent can claim the child.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it would come down to who's going to claim that child.
There you go. And it messes up your credit.
Yeah. And I know that sounds really, really bad because can you imagine? You know what I mean? Can you imagine? I mean, on a mom's end, but as far as, you know, I'm the mom, I'm getting all this child support money. And then on top of that, I'm claiming my kid. On the mom's end, it looks really pretty, but on the dad's end, I know they are like throwing a fit, cussing and fussing the whole entire time. And I understand why.
But see, she just said something though. They getting double whammy, bro.
Right. Yeah,
how is it that I have to pay you if I'm paying three of them? I'm gonna do the calculations in a minute, right? If I'm paying $700 a month, right? 700 times 12 is $6,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I can't even get nothing.
No, I'm wrong. I'm way wrong.
But you still can't get anything from it when you go to file your tax.
That's $8,400 a year.
But they wonder why Trump won.
Point. So it's $8,400 a year. Plus, I file my taxes, right?
Right.
So that's another $2,000 automatically because that's how much it is for the child anyway.
But if you're in the arrears, you won't get that.
Right? No. I'm talking about if I'm a mom.
Okay, mom. Okay.
I filed $2,000. Now
you can still get it. You can still get it as long as you're paying.
Yeah, but it's my brother done told me many times he done got his taxes taken because he had child support.
But how much?
The whole thing.
Dude, I received the whole thing.
That's probably because it all depends. Well, I was only in the rear like maybe,
nice.
but I was only in the rear like maybe $200. They're gonna take $200 from me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is, if you're actively in the child's life, if I'm actively as a parent, as a father in my child's life, leave me alone. I'm not bothering you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bothering you.
Now I have a question. I do have a question.
Yeah.
What are the chances of having a civil conversation with the other half and saying, hey, can we come to this agreement so we don't have to deal with the city or the state? Because what they don't know,
that's the smart thing to do. Yeah. That's the smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I realize it's not that people isn't smart. They don't want to be smart to do that.
Okay.
People don't want to hear realistic things when you're an adult because it's going their way. Only way when they want to listen when things are not going their way.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because when things not going their way, we need dad, right? And we're there to defend. We always get beat up. When we come to the defense about things, we're there. No matter how this person may treat us, we're there because we don't want to see nothing happen. And that's coming from a genuine perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it's the other way around, we don't get the same love. And we like, wait a minute, I did all this. And like, why are you treating me like this? You start scratching your head like, you really acting like this? Common sense would be like, if a person is not trying to be combative with you, if they're trying to work with you and they're trying to see the obvious, why do you feel like you have to do that? It doesn't. This is the thing I've always said. It's not going to work. It's not going to work in your favor in long term.
Okay.
It's not. But for the short term while you got me here or whatever, I don't show no remorse when things turn around. I just don't.
Okay.
I don't. You lose your job, guess what? Go find one. Oh, I want to tell you something about child support since we on this about voting. Which y'all don't got to understand. No, because y'all got me turned up tonight.
That's right.
No.
Come on,
so
let us have it.
Let's go.
When you go, so, and this, I don't know if this happened with everybody, but I know it's happened with a couple of my friends because I thought it was just me. I thought I was tripping. When you get a job, the first thing happens is they send a letter out to the job, letting them know like, hey, this person has garnishments. That's a character thing. But you know what it says on the letter? It says domestic. Now, people who are not smart enough to know domestic can mean anything, right? That can mean you beating up the person. That can mean anything.
Yeah, that means you backslapping her.
So when you shut up. No, listen. So when you get your job and when child support reaches out to the job, them letters they get to HR, those are not friendly letters. It messes up the dynamic. So you know what happened? They looking at you. Oh, he has to go. So they're wondering why he can't keep a job. Let me explain why I can't keep a job. That letter that's coming, that letter that's going to HR, now that you're in question. You can't be there no more. You got to go. So now you had 5 jobs in 1 year. You wondering like, what the hell? And you're black. So now it's like, well, because they don't want that for their jobs. You get what I'm saying to you? They don't want that. It's not talked about enough. It's not talked about enough, and they wondering why a lot of dudes go to barbershop. They start doing a little hustling. They go underneath the radar because we're not prone to fit in society to have a real job because corporate America doesn't want that because they're taking money from wherever it is the kickback they supposed to get. Get out of my face. Get out of here.
Okay.
Ho. We're gonna take a pause because he's segueing, and I want to make sure we segue through this. Don't forget that question. Don't forget that question. We gotta take a quick break. Don't forget that question. Hold on to it. You were doing your best. I see you over there. I'm so proud of you.
No, she's doing great.
I'm so proud of you.
Proud of you.
I am so overly proud of you.
Proud of you, see?
Yo, she's over there struggling, Tom. She over there struggling. No, you good. You good. She look at it. She
No, but I'm sure T got her reasons why I don't know if she has anybody that's on there or not.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I mean, she probably been through it herself. She know what it's like to be on the receiving end.
Wait a minute, you on child support?
She was.
You was on child support?
Anyway, go ahead. We do our PSA. Go ahead. Do the announcement. Go ahead.
I didn't know you was on child support.
I got you.
How you light skin? You a girl? You on child support? That's crazy, yo. He was petty.
No. Go ahead. Go. No. Look. I'm trying to
light
y'all.
skin girls out there on child support.
Anyway, go ahead.
Any light skin girls out there on child support?
Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
I'm telling you,
go ahead.
When we come back from break, I'm gonna call
215. Come on, man.
Give him the number. Let them call in.
Oh my goodness. Yo, what's good, family? Remember, you can always call us with your comments or your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, it's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Also hit us on Instagram while the conversation's already going at Jimmy Bonds Podcast. Come on and holler at us, family. You listen to Jimmy Bonds Podcast right here on WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. Go ahead, brother Ty, take it away.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to WPEB. WPEB, West Philadelphia's community radio station, is a project of Scribe Video Center. To help us with funding to keep us on the air and to better serve you with new programming, please let us know you are there. Please send us an email with your name and the best way to contact you. Let us know what programs you listen to and what we could do better. Please send your email to wpeb@scribe.org. Again, please send us an email with your name, the best way to contact you, the programs you listen to, and what we could do better. Send it to wpeb@scribe.org. JB, back to you.
Right back at it. WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. Remember, family, call us with your comments or your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. And again, family, we are here talking about voting, every voice, every vote, West Philly Voices, put on by the Linfest Institute of Journalism. Family, I'm telling you right now, if you ain't heard the first segment, the first hour of our show, I suggest next time you listen to tune on back in. We want to go up on a podcast thing. But it was fire because my brother Terrance here had I think he voiced his opinion on child support that I think a lot of brothers can relate to. Mm-hmm. A lot of brothers feel very much the same way. And I think his experience is a lot of other brothers' experience, not just even, I can say that for even my little brother.
It's for women too. Women
go through it too, right?
Women go through it too.
All right, T, what was you going to say, T?
All right, so Terrance, slide on over here real quick. Just slide on over here. Okay. Brace yourself.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's bad now? Wait till your child turned 18 and you no longer have to pay child support. Mm-hmm. Let me explain to you how these people ain't even gonna know that you ain't got to pay child support no more. So your kid gonna be like 20 years old and you still gonna be paying child support. You're gonna have to call these people, get in their faces, get some names and phone numbers, and go down there and let them know my kid is 18 years old. Please stop taking money out of my account. I don't have to pay child support anymore. Trust me when I tell you they not going to keep a record of how old your kid is. I'm just telling you now, just prepare yourself because that's what you're going to have to go through.
I know.
And not even that. But even when you go down there and you tell them that you don't have to pay child support no more and how old your kid is, imagine how long it's going to take them to actually get around to doing the paperwork, and then they got to get in contact with the HR people, and then the HR people got to get back in contact with them, and then the paperwork is going to get lost somewhere in the system, and then when the paperwork finally does resurface and they finally figure it out, your kid probably going to be 25 years old. I'm just letting you know right now, brace yourself,
No,
boy.
I know. Brace yourself. I know about it because it happened to my cousin. He had to show a proof of, the diploma. Right? But not only had to show the proof of diploma, he had to go down there with his child's mom for what? She 18. It's over. Why I gotta go down there and talk to her?
I'm trying.
We counselors now?
As fast as they can take the money out of your account, it takes even longer for them to pull you. Yeah. So I'm just telling you, you think it's bad now to just wait until your kid turn 18.
But y'all want us to vote. This is what I'm saying. What am I voting for here?
Mm-hmm.
How can I vote and I can still go to jail?
I mean, child support is just a collection agency for the state.
That's
just
all
like
it
the
is.
IRS is a collection agency.
Mm-hmm.
Child support is a collection agency for the state.
Now, you think you hit it now? Just wait. Just wait.
That's why I just, and not to say anything about my child's mom, but everything is very direct. No and yes. That is it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get in too much of anything. Because at this point, I knew somebody that died, that was on child support. I guess the baby mom was relentless. And I told myself, well, I don't want to be that way. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to...
Well, you know what? I didn't get child support from my daughter until she was 16 years old.
See?
And even when, I didn't get child support from my daughter until she was 16 years old.
He was ducking the law for a long time.
He was?
Well, I need to
call him
he was on some, I ain't got no job.
So that don't mean
I ain't
nothing.
got no job.
Let me tell you.
Hold on. And then my
bad.
like when I had my daughter, my dad had partial custody of my child. So my dad had every right to say if he went to jail or not. So my dad was like, I'm not going to do it to him. He's a young black man. I ain't going to do that to him. So my dad was like, don't lock him up. But yeah, I ain't get no child support from, until my daughter was like
your dad
16
was
years
a G
old.
on that one.
Yeah. I mean, like my dad understood. My dad didn't want to do it to somebody else. And, he was just like, look, it is what it is. And I just relied on me when it came down to my kid. But yeah, when she was 16, I finally got like a child support check. I didn't need that, John. I had 3 jobs.
The worst thing as a father you ever hear when your kids start asking you questions about it.
Oh, I mean, you know what? And like, I'm not how I want to say this. I didn't talk bad on my daughter's father.
I'm sure.
But if my daughter had a question, I didn't sugarcoat it either. And if she had a loaded question, I told her, ask your dad. But you know what my daughter did do? She was like, you know what? Daddy, guess what? My junior prom coming up, my senior prom coming up. I think I want a senior ring. I think I want class pictures. You know what I mean? Oh, I think my class trip and we going to Cancun. Like she just started hitting her dad up. Mm-hmm. Not because I didn't say anything. I had nothing to do with it. But she realized who had been footing the bill for a good majority of her life. So, yeah, when it came down to it, she just started hitting her dad up.
But that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I just don't like somebody telling me what I need to do with my money.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? It's not the money. It's the inconvenience with it all. Because even when you're doing bad...
It's not even an inconvenience. It's the control of it.
It's a control thing, and it's really bad, man.
And it makes it appear your child's another bill.
Right.
Instead of being a child.
But I'll be very clear about that HR. When they get them letters from when they send those letters to corporate or whatever, they look at you in a different light. You are a target.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely look at you in a different light.
But this is not talked about. Then you back downtown. Now you say he didn't have a job, right? You know what I did when I didn't have a job? You know what they asked me? They was like, all right, well, we want you to come back down here and we'll help you find a job. Where? McDonald's? Target?
Because they want that money.
Now you getting paid even if you do take their job, right? You're only paying child support now. Because the job only is going to...
It's nice when you couch surfing, they ain't got no address for you.
Oh yeah, right.
Crazy.
You ain't got no whole. You ain't got no situation.
When you couch surfing,
you ain't got no situation.
You here, there, and you hear like what? I don't know his address. I don't know where he live at. I don't know where the man at.
But now you want me to vote. This is what I'm saying.
Like,
you know what? Now I think about it, he probably never did vote.
Yeah, Terrance, go vote.
I'm not voting, man. Like, no, don't stop. And I get mad when people try to use this. Yeah, stop that. No, stop. Well, I don't want to hear no more of that ancestors.
Wade in the water.
I don't want to hear none of that.
Wade in the water.
You know the bad part? They say your ancestors, are we getting better or are we getting worse?
The ancestors like we getting worse.
Backwards.
The ancestors like we getting worse.
We getting worse. I hate when people do that. They fourth year, right? Yeah, but guess what? Little Pookie down here robbing, shooting up, bang, bang, and everything. But I'm going to work every day. But you telling me that I can't voice my thing and not voting?
And little Pookie got three baby moms. 3 baby moms, a couple food stamp cards.
I think this is why a lot of black men did not vote.
Oh, let's pause that real quick. Got to do for Radio ID. You listen to WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia, Jimmy Bond's podcast, right here. Make sure you call us with your comments, your questions, 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JINNYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Now, look, so listen, this was a good segue because...
Right.
Child support is connected to your employment.
Yes, they are.
And we talk about voting all the time. I think one of the things, like when them dudes come to my door, the things that they ask me about what's important to me about voting, employment, housing, cost of living, grocery bills, maybe education at the bottom. Because primarily that's what I'm thinking about, right? And lately, a lot of people have been losing their jobs. Jobs that were considered guaranteed. If you work for the federal government, it was probably no way in the world you was getting fired at all.
Get yourself a government job. Government job is a good job.
My grandmother used to preach that like it was like the
best thing in the world that you had was a government job.
Listen, it just like period. I mean, she worked at the VA, so for her working at the VA,
that's my brother right now.
That's what you're doing. You guaranteed. You're gonna make good money. You gonna so that's what she did, right? Yep. So she looked at it. Well, for me, why don't you go work at the post office? Like, whoa, hold on. First of all, I shout out to all our postal workers out there.
Shut up,
right.
But
rain, snow, sleet, hail.
Listen, but I'm saying I'm thinking about it in terms of just like. We don't think about employment when we voting. People think about egg prices, how much your grocery thing is, whatever. But see, you and I both know from experience, this employment thing it's a joke. It's the laughing stock. It's hilarious. Now these federal jobs are leaving and they cutting them for no reason. I've never seen federal jobs leave like this before.
You have the letter I in your name. We have to let you go.
Listen,
sorry.
I've never seen something so crazy and chaotic. And like, I don't care if you voted for Trump or you didn't vote for Trump or whatever. I don't think nobody wanted this. And when you have federal people, being born and raised in DC.
Put them in the office.
Listen, I mean, I got friends right now losing their jobs. Been in them jobs 25 years. So you sitting around like that's your livelihood. That's your family.
You better develop a skill.
They're cutting. They're not just cutting jobs. They're cutting benefits for kids in schools.
Mm-hmm.
They cutting. I'm just trying to go off the top of my head what I saw them talk about cutting today. They trying to close the Department of Education.
Yeah, they've been.
They are trying to. They just closed US aid. They're trying to close every single thing. They're cutting 1,500 people from the CDC. They're cutting another 1,500 from somewhere else. Another 2,000 from somewhere else. Like what's going on? So I say all that to say, when we vote, we don't think about employment when we vote. But I can tell you, T, when I vote, I think about. Am I going to be able to get a job? Mm-hmm. Not because of the fact there's a lot of jobs out here. Am I going to be able to get a job because of what I look like?
Mm.
The jobs you just talked about being cut, can AI replace that?
No. I don't care what nobody say. AI can't replace them jobs. Not even if they tried.
So this is the thing. I get what you're saying, but that's the plan. These call centers, they already got AIs.
Mm-hmm.
They got McDonald's, right? They already got self-made stuff, right? You go to CVS, they don't really need you there. They don't really need nobody there.
Well, you can do everything yourself. You can go right to self-checkout. You don't need nobody registered, nothing. No.
All that, right? But I know what you mean, right?
Huh.
But that's where they want to go at.
That's where they want to go.
Right.
But they're 10 years too much ahead of themselves. That's what they're trying to do. Right? AI is great. It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar thing. People don't even know that actually chat. What I forget.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. The owners of that, I think it's OpenAI is the name of the company.
Okay.
They're actually a nonprofit organization. People don't know that. A nonprofit organization worth billions of dollars. Billions. So much that Elon Musk is like trying to sue them because when they go for profit, and actually he used to be a part of them. When they go for profit, the minute they go for profit, ChatGPT will be the biggest organization as far as billions, as far as worth.
And that's a big threat to Elon Musk.
Very much so. He got his own, but it's crap. I said I'm bringing.
What you
this
mean
up.
with they exploding cars?
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm sorry.
If you own a Tesla now, people looking at you funny.
He's African American, right? Right? Or
he
from Africa, right?
He is African.
Yes, he is Afrikaan.
Oh, he's Afrikaan,
which is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they consider themselves as, but Afrikaan and
so he's not African American. He's Afrikaan.
He's Afrikaan.
Oh, that's what they call it now.
Yeah, that's what they are.
You
the white South Africans, they call it Afrikaans. But no, I mean, I say, see, how many jobs have you had? Because I can say probably in the last 2 years, right? I probably had 5 jobs.
Okay.
How many jobs have you had in the last?
In 1 year? I had 5 jobs in 1 year. Oh yeah, I get jobs like it's nothing. Listen, I got tired of. Let me be honest with y'all. I got hired at 2 jobs. Right? And I was like, I had to call one and let them know I'm not doing it, right? And I went with the other one, right? But it's like for me and Jim, it's never really hard for us to get a job because look, we like, come on, cut to the beat. Look, stop. All right, like it's not hard. We don't look at jobs that everybody else do. Like, you know what? We getting out of here as soon as. But this is the thing.
With the writing's on the wall.
Listen,
time to roll. Son.
Listen,
I know I quit a job in a minute, won't I?
We don't stay, but not even that, right? And I'm not even saying, look, I'll stay, but I already know just by me, just like, you know what? I got this child support, so I'm gonna stay here so they can take out my check. But now you start getting a side eye once they start taking the money out your check. They'll be like, "Can we talk to you for a second, Mr. Henry? Can you come into the office for a second? We noticed that you was on your phone, and we want to know why you. Well, the phone, my phone. I gotta log in my phone to get into your computer." You know, they start nitpicking and they start doing little things to you when they find out you on child. It's crazy. It's like psychological.
We noticed that you're not sitting up straight at your desk, sir. It
gets worse than that. This is a true story. This really happened to me. This is really true, right? They pulled me into a meeting because they said I was sighing on the phone. So I said, wait a minute. When you say sighing, what do you mean? Can you explain it to me? So I asked the white lady, can you give me a demonstration of what type of sighing I was doing? Well, you know, I don't know because I'm breathing now. So
right.
So tell me, when you say sign, what was I doing? So she was like, it was like a, huh. I was like, what? I said, can you do it again? She was like, it was like a, huh. I said, wait a minute, you got to write me up because of that? Well, we just feel like, wait a minute. So you really about to write me up? So I said, how are you going to write that in the write-up? How is that? How you gonna write that? How you gonna
hold on? And then hold on. They want you to sign the write-up. Yes. They're about to get
I said, I'm breathing now. Like you gonna write me up again because I'm trying to really understand this.
Black and breathing.
I said, black and breathing.
Breathing while black.
Her nerve
breathing while black.
Her nerve had to beat. Her name was Katie. Every time I hear the word Katie now, I get pissed off.
Now he really saying.
Listen, I am triggered. You hear me? I am triggered. They are Karens 2.9 zillions out there, okay? I said, when you go to sleep at night, I really asked them this. When you go to sleep at night, do you really, really do y'all know?
Yeah.
I'm like, she's like, are you going to sign the write-up? I said, I want to read it first. And it said, they called it tone script. That's what they called it on the write-up. I said, what is a tone script? Well, the way you talk. Well, how I'm talking. What? Is that what it is?
I didn't even know there was a code.
I said, listen, and when you tell people about this, right? You know the bad part when you tell people this? This the part that gets me so mad. Well, maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. How?
That's what they do. That's
what
they say.
You know what?
That's what they say.
They
come at you in a heartbeat.
Terrance,
They be like, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you need to fix yourself because
Terrance,
maybe you're not being a team player.
I'm just saying, I'm sitting next to you right now, and I'm starting to think you might be the problem, sir. You just might be the problem. I don't like the aggressiveness in your voice when you talk. I'm just gonna need you to tone your bass down just a little bit. Is it possible that you could just sound not so urban when you speak?
Listen.
I'm just saying, Terrance, I kind of understand where they're coming from. I really do.
Every time I got on the Zoom call, I never seen a white person become super white.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying to you?
They were just being themselves.
What? No.
Oh, they were so happy to be on the phone.
Like
Hello, thank you for calling today. How may I assist you?
They look like Casper the Friendly Ghost every time I see them. Every time I got on the team meeting.
I mean, but
here go Terrance.
see,
What you want? Why you calling?
Again, you are giving the real life experience of what people are experiencing in the employment world, right? For some people, they give up after losing a job 5-6 times. You ain't doing that no more. Why am I going to do that? That's pointless, right?
I'm trying you better develop a skill.
Here's the thing about it, though.
Yeah.
Everything is tied to how much money we make.
Yeah.
The economy is tied into how much money we make. They want our vote, but we never seem to think about employment when we voting. That's the bottom.
That ain't even on the list.
Has a bottom line.
On the list.
Every company has a bottom line. Every individual walking around in this world has a bottom line, right? That is your bottom line. So when we get to go voting and people like, well, what's important to me? Abortion, or what's important to me? Immigration. That's not affecting your bottom line. If you can't pay your bills,
there you go.
None of that matters.
No.
And one of the main ways I can't pay my bills is if I can't get the right job to pay my bills.
Yep.
She said she's working 3 jobs back in the day when her daughter was 16 years old. She's working 3 jobs. People right now working 3 jobs. People right now maybe working 3 with a little side hustle. And it's
sound like me.
That sound like Todd, right? It's really because we don't take employment seriously enough. We look at it as, oh, well, I'm just going to go to work. Take it as. When we talk about on mental health side, that's understandable.
Right.
But on the voting side, we don't look at employment in terms of voting for wages. Because $15 an hour was supposed to be law 10 years ago. Right?
Sure.
I remember that they straight facaded everybody and had that whole $15 an hour campaign and nothing happened.
I thought that was just for federal workers.
Oh, I thought that was people that worked at McDonald's because I was ready to quit my 9 to 5.
Listen,
that was what it was supposed to be for the federal minimum wage. That's what it was supposed to be.
Look, I'm just saying, I would fry some fries for $15 an hour. Okay,
but McDonald's costs more than $7 an hour.
McDonald's,
you can't get a McDonald's burger for less than $7. Okay,
it was like $15 for like a number one,
bro. No,
super
it is
size.
Number one large, $14.44.
You be like, yo, Ron, and they had the nerve to keep your change. Like, you don't want your change. Like,
no, they want you to donate that to the nonprofit.
No, the Ronald McDonald House. The Ronald McDonald House. Come on, y'all.
Pull around to the first window, please.
First of all, every time the ice cream is broke. How your ice cream machine broke, but you want me to donate to the Ronald?
It's the milkshake machine, man.
The McFlurry. It's the McFlurry.
They don't never have
It's the McFlurry. It's the McFlurry thing. But So I mean, if we talk about, I mean, T, me and you we've made jokes about it over the years, right?
Yeah.
But not having money to pay your bills is the hardest thing in the world. It's the hardest thing in the world. So I don't know why that is never primary on anybody's voting thing. I don't care about what Trump's politics are.
I don't care either.
I don't care about what Kamala's politics are. I care about what my wage says.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I was trying to say.
Because in the day, even what you saying, Trump gonna give us tax cuts, He ain't giving you tax cuts. You don't make enough money for his tax
But
cuts.
the last time he was in office, he gave everybody checks.
If I hear one more black person tell me that Trump gave us a check.
Well, last
I'm
time I got
your
invited
black
to a
card.
crab party. I'm just saying, I got invited to a crab party. I don't know about y'all.
When we got them checks in the pandemic, where everybody go?
Where do you go? Five Below?
No, everybody was at the Neiman Marcus, Saks,
They
the
shopping.
Gucci store,
Yeah.
taking
Yes,
trips.
I'm just saying, everybody had a crab party. I was invited.
I wasn't utilizing
They
their money like
they
that.
was on them planes, on them islands.
Yes,
Yeah.
ooh.
On planes.
Yes,
They got all these new plane rules now because people got on planes that never been on planes before.
yeah, they was all in New Orleans.
All you amateurs out there jumping out there, because Trump said they gave y'all some money for a cheap flight.
Yes.
But that's what I'm just saying, man. I think I'm not the only one that feels frustrated. It's a lot of us that feel frustrated.
And this is why we do this show, every voice, every vote, West Philly Voices, because everybody's voice needs to be heard. Everybody's experiencing very similar things. And, me and T always relate about this job thing because this is something that we deal with all the time. It's so bad right now that when I go apply for a job and they want to do an interview with me, I go to the interview 5 minutes before I start. I look at the interview and I'll be like, I don't want to do this.
You don't.
You go in there disgusted.
Because you can't, because it's like
I
you're
don't
not
do
going to be here for the rest of your life doing this.
This is pointless. And then they ask you the most mundane, redundant, pointless questions I've ever seen in my life.
How would you handle this situation?
Listen. I tell you, let me tell you about the one time I had those situations. Customer came in, and I was deciding, it was all rambunctious and verbally abusive, and I calmed the whole situation down. I told the customer to calm down. I didn't call my supervisor because I can handle it and take initiative. As you know, I'm an initiative taker. I like to take initiative because I believe the person taking initiative will be able to complete any task on time and be detail oriented. You see all my keywords I just used?
Yeah, there you
Y'all
go.
like that?
Mm-hmm.
You see the keywords?
I heard you.
I sound like an AI.
You know what it is,
Because you've been on many interviews.
Yeah, the interviewers. But you know what's happening now? The people that are interviewed don't even know how to interview you.
No, they don't. The thing about it is, I'm answering their question, or I'm asking their questions to them. I know what you're going to ask me. It got so bad one time, lady called me on the phone trying to do a preliminary phone interview. She calls me up. She says, so why, I see you've worked at so many different jobs. Why you work so many different jobs? I'll tell you why. Because you can't pay me what I'm worth.
Oh,
you told her that?
I felt that over here.
Oh yeah, you ain't want that one, Jim. You must have had a bad day that day. You was like, I don't need this job.
You want me to call you and kiss you? You know what? Because you sitting on the other end of the phone and you expecting me to be polite because you gonna pay me $17 an hour. Really? For real? You think that me being paid $17 an hour is going to make me conform to what you want me to say?
I'm gonna need you to double that, possibly triple.
No, you gotta triple that because I know you see my resume, and that's what I told her. I said, you saw my resume, right?
Right.
You saw I had management, I had a degree on there, 15
funny?
years in banking, I had customer service experience out the yin yang. But you calling me on a $21 job asking me why I haven't stayed at the job. Look at my resume, lady.
Right.
I'm not challenged, obviously. Obviously, I'm good at what I do because you see the numbers. I'm putting my numbers on here,
well,
too.
you know what? There's the whole entire staying at a company for a long period of time.
Out the window. Out the window.
Nope, that don't even exist anymore. Now they looking for people that when they look at their resume, they looking for people like Terrance
who been at a job 6 months,
5 jobs within 1 year, and what they're looking at is each job that you've been on, you developed a new skill.
Yeah. Oh, and
you get that skill and you take it to the next job,
else.
and then you get a new skill and you take it to the next
and
job.
don't-
I stopped putting jobs on my resume. I think I stopped 5 years
You
ago.
did. You did.
Yeah, I'm putting them on there.
But don't have a gap in your employment because then they want to know what happened.
Well,
and then I sit there and say
well,
to
Terrance
myself,
had a kid.
listen, they started interrogating me. Well, what's this gap in between such and such a year? I was like, I was sitting there saying to myself, like, are you my probation officer? I don't even know you. You asked me about a gap in my life. Who are you? Matter of fact, you like 24 years old. I'm like 20 years older than you. Why am I going to tell you about a gap in my life? Who are you? Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to make something up.
I backpacked through Europe.
Yeah, that's what you was doing. So I make something up. Yep, my grandparents were sick. I took care of my grandparents.
Yeah.
Well, what happened with this gap? Yep, I was single stay-at-home dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, well, that's to be commendable. Yeah, you really don't care about.
No, you have to say you backpacked through Europe.
You
saw the pyramids.
They want to see these. They want to know you traveled.
Yeah,
traveled.
I'm well traveled.
You know, at some point you just get tired.
You do.
You hit a wall.
You do.
You're like, whatever.
You do.
And it's funny because
don't be discouraged. You can do it.
No, you get past that too.
No, you really do. And so I mean, I say this to everybody out there working a job right now. You have to know that whatever you voting for ain't what you voting for. Your job.
Say it again.
Whatever you voting for ain't what you voting for.
There you go.
Your job is not secure.
Not anymore.
I'm going to repeat it again. I don't care where you work at, especially for all my federal employees. Bye-bye. Your job is not secure.
Can I share a story with y'all?
Yeah, for sure.
This one time at band camp.
So my daughter, we went to Chick-fil-A, right?
Mm-hmm.
We was in the driveway, went to Chick-fil-A, so we driving, so she in the back, she eating her food. She was like, Dad, she said, who did you vote for? So I told her I didn't vote for nobody, right? So she was like, well, I like, Kamala. I'm saying her name right?
Kamala.
Or whatever. So I was like, well, why do you like her? And she's like, well, Trump is a racist. I said, okay. I said, tell me why, right? I said, listen, I don't mind who you like, but I need you to know, why is he a racist? I want you to go back and I want you to do your homework. Well, Dad, everybody's saying it, but I want you to have your own mind. I want you to make your decision. Just don't go off what nobody else says, right?
Well, my homeboy at the barbershop said.
Right. And I said, I really, you on that iPad all the time. You got to start finding the right things and not what's being given to you and not go around what everybody else is doing. You need to start figuring out what the true answers are. Right. And she was like, well, Mommy, I said, wait a minute. I understand that's your mom. That's your mom's opinion. Right. And I understand you're going to listen to your mom. But you are getting older to where as though you got to start seeking the truth. And it's going to go down a rabbit hole. Right. I thought the story was over. Now, months later, we at the dinner table. Dad. I said, what's up? She said, did you change your mind yet? I said, no, I didn't change my mind. I said, but what did you find? I was like, well, last time we was in the car, you was mad. I said, I wasn't mad. But
Terrance,
I said,
your voice is very bassy and aggressive.
I said, I wasn't mad, baby. I said, but I really want you to start finding the answers so that way you'll know. She said, but Mom said, nope, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear what your mother said. That is your mom's opinion, because I know my daughter's in between, so she plays this
back and forth,
right? Because she's still trying to figure things out, right? So she's like, well, he thinks this way, she thinks this way, and she's a girl, so you know how girls are, right? They're trying to find something, right? But when you don't have two parents in the household, it's hard for them to come up with their own opinions sometimes because
they're searching.
Yeah, and it's not there. And it's not there, whatever. And I just said, listen, you really just got to start looking, daughter, and
how old is your daughter?
She's 11.
Okay.
She's 11.
Here's the thing you just did, though. Yeah. This is what you told your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
It's what everybody needs to do.
Homework.
Not just your 11-year-old, but everybody needs to do their research to find the truth. Not just be like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to just go off what's been fed to me,
right?
As you said. A lot of times we work in these...
because my homegirls at the hair salon,
they know everything, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They can tell you anything and everything under the sun.
I wouldn't. Your hair salon?
I mean, I don't...
I sure want to walk in there.
You never know what you're going to hear them Jones.
What, bro?
I mean, it can't be any worse than the barbershop.
No, it ain't. Listen, I learned a long time ago.
No, it's worse.
Don't walk in there with no sweatpants on.
Oh, bro. I just found that out the other day.
How you find that out now?
I wasn't thinking of myself, bro.
Hey, listen.
I just wasn't thinking.
Don't ever wear no sweatpants.
Man?
Yo, they were black, bro.
They were black. Shit. Don't ever wear no gray ones.
Look, bro, it was bad, bro. It was bad. Like took my phone and was like, look at the picture, and was like circling. I was like, yo,
yeah.
Completely forgot. Then I was like, I love wearing sweatpants.
Because you can't. Your t-shirt got to be long now. You can't go in there with no fitted t-shirt. Walking in with some gray sweatpants
it's like the tables have turned now, bro. Like we looking at the tights, they looking at the sweatpants.
Yeah.
Like
you sitting there like, you sitting there like
you not thinking nothing about nothing, bro.
You having a whole full cast conversation like you'll see
enjoying life.
She underneath the dryer. Sitting texting everybody in the damn in the damn hair
Look
dryer.
at her laughing, yo.
All you had to do is go in and talk like this. Hello, everyone. How you doing this day?
You
My
just
name's
out there.
Dexter.
You just all your business is all out there. You didn't even say nothing. You just told your whole business.
It just came from the islands.
Are you coming back?
No.
Why would I come back? What am I coming back for?
Hey,
That's
Joe.
the
See you
same
later.
that it is.
I'll see y'all later. Yes, you will.
Yeah.
You definitely see me
See you
later.
Can you imagine that?
You gonna see me later?
I stopped buying sweatpants. I started
call
learning a
you.
long time ago. Don't wear no sweatpants.
Yo, listen, and that's like the worst thing for me because these jeans don't fit my pants right, don't fit my legs right. So I'm most comfortable in
Women are
sweatpants.
perverts, man.
So-
You know that? Super perverts.
No, bro, worse than we are.
They are.
They worse than we are.
Yeah,
Yo,
'cause
because
she
you know we tell
knows.
the truth.
Oh, nasty
You know
little,
we telling the truth.
little nasty little mother.
You talk about going to sit there sitting around being a fly on the wall and one of them here. Bro, you would be freaked out, bro.
He didn't have no control underwear on.
There's just nothing.
Yo, they tell us
Control
stories
underwear.
and everything, yo.
All
They
the time.
tell us stuff about happened that morning.
No,
They tell us
look,
about what happened
you
that
in the
morning.
group, yo, your whole situation's in the
Just
group
done.
chat.
Just done. Like, what
Your
am I
whole
doing?
situation in the group
Yeah,
chat.
you just like, yo.
They snapping pictures.
Little quick pics,
Yeah.
group chat. Everybody knows.
They was like, I
Everybody
think I
knows.
seen that one
Next time you
before.
come in that John, they looking at you different. You like, dang.
I know who you're
This
talking
kid
about.
I just
I'm
can't.
so
now I
sorry.
understand what the women go through. Now I understand what the women go
Yeah,
through.
it's very
Y'all feel
uncomfortable. man.
violated?
Yeah, we
I
feel
thought-
violated
I
when
thought
they
it
got
was just us.
sweatpants. No.
I thought it was just us. Now they are literally undressing us with their eyes.
Yeah,
and
they
making us
are.
like this. Hey Jimmy. Now don't be hey Jimmy me.
They, oh my
Don't
God.
be hey Jimmy me. Don't
One
don't
time
do
I
it.
walked in the hairdresser, the girl
Don't
didn't even
do it.
look up. She just didn't even look at me. Like, why is she not staring at me? She all right. She was just like this the whole time.
Yo, that's what
She ain't
you
even
do.
look. She
They ain't even look. Just looking right at you like.
The worst thing you can get, bro, is just shit in the group chat. You know, one day, women group chats are just filthy. They're nasty. You hear what I'm saying to you?
Heathens over
They-
this joint.
Girls group chats.
Yo.
That's why I never understood why
That's okay.
guys be sending
This
pictures
is
to women. You don't never do that.
Well,
man.
you just don't. You shouldn't. Little
Yeah.
sidebar for all the listeners. Hope y'all enjoyed that little sidebar.
Yeah, a little sidebar.
I'm so
Yes,
little
yes,
sorry.
sidebar. Ain't nothing wrong with a little
Sorry.
sidebar. T obviously enjoyed it.
Yeah, she
She's
did.
over there still
When the
chuckling.
next time you going to the hairdresser after Sunday service, all that praying to the Lord and all that.
No, I do my own hair.
That's good. You know, women say they need a good man. They ain't really talking about us. They talking about what's attached.
No, you know what? I stopped going to the hair salon once my daughter came home with the salon gossip.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
what?
yeah, yeah.
She
I was done.
she 12 years old
I
talking
was
about
done talking.
child. Wait a minute, pause. You know what? I think I'm just gonna do your hair from here on out. I can't take you back to
Listen,
the hair salon.
Imagine walking in a
Child.
hairdresser and you got to pick up your daughter.
Mm.
And I had
shit.
ball shorts
Yo,
on.
listen,
Oh,
bro.
see,
The word.
I'm just here to pick them up.
Yeah.
That's why I let her mom do all the mom girly stuff. Go do that. Go do that. I'll take her to the sports.
Jim,
You take her to the
Jim, sometimes
I
you
take
got
this
it. You
one.
got to walk in there.
sometimes you gotta be a girl dad.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do gotta be a girl dad.
Jim, you know how many
I
breaths
just-
I took before I walked inside of a woman's hair salon?
I have to be more. I have to be more cognizant of these things going on. I'm oblivious, bro. I go places and I just be thinking to myself, I gotta go do this. I gotta go do this. I gotta call this person. Gotta call that person. And when you mentioned that just now, somebody recently pointed it out to me. Like took a picture that I took and was like, "Look at this. Look at all this right there." I was like,
Oh
Yeah,
wow, really?
See?
That's what
I
y'all
was
see
like-
when I walk into the hair salon.
"Right now," but then I
That's
was
how
like,
y'all see me.
I was like, "Oh snap!" And I
Yeah,
always
man.
like wearing sweatpants.
Mm.
I wear sweatpants all the time.
Can't wear sweatpants no more, bro.
Mm.
Not the gray ones.
So hold on. What y'all supposed to wear? Skinny boy jeans?
Can't wear those either.
Can't wear
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah, no, that's against the law.
Yeah, it
He's
is against the
staying
law.
against the law.
That's against the black man code. I don't know what's going on with them. But make sure I do this. It's WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. Remember, family, you can call us with your comments or your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, it's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. That's JINNYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. All right, family. We're going to keep going on this conversation. Every voice, every vote, West Philly Voices. Sit here, my brother Terrence Henry of the Terrence Henry Experience, always rocking out. As you can see, he has an opinion on various topics, and he has been giving us his thoughts, his thought processes on child support, on employment, and voting. And it is all centered around voting, see, for real.
Yeah,
it is around centered around voting. I had a conversation with a girl today, and she said, I want her to come on the show. And she was like, yeah, I don't be, she's like, I don't know when we be talking about politics and stuff, because I don't be into politics. And I was like, oh, where? She was like, yeah. I was like, great. She was like, yeah, I don't really talk about it that much. Me and my family voted Democrat, and that's just how we vote. That don't mean I necessarily agree with everything that they do, but I'm voting Democrat. I was like, okay, I get it. I said, well, you don't like politics. She said, no, not really. I said, well, your whole life is politics.
You wanted to bring her on the show?
I mean, just so she could sit down and talk to you.
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't have said nothing to her.
You would have had a whole lot to say.
No.
Yeah,
And I'm going to tell you why.
I think it would have been good.
Wait.
Let me
I'm
finish
going to let
the
you finish. My bad,
Go
bro.
that
Let me
basic aggressive
finish
voice again.
I don't know if she would want to talk to you, Terrence.
I hear no tone balance. There's no tone balance with it.
Yeah, the tone. Yeah, that's what he said.
Tone balance.
It's just your tone.
Just your tone
Henry,
balance.
You need to sound more.
You sound like an aggressive black man. And that's not what we need.
Bro.
But no, so she was like, she's like, I just don't get into politics. And I hear it so often. So when she gave it to me, I already had a rebuttal. I was just like, look, your life is politics. I started breaking it down. I was like, as a black woman raising a black daughter in a country like this, every day you wake up is politics. So if you think that it's not, I'm sorry to inform you that you're completely wrong. And I didn't tell her that. That's not what I said.
But that's how you felt.
That's how I felt. That's how I feel all the time.
Right.
Because if you don't think, even the sports that you read and you get into, it's politics involved. Yeah. And if you think I'm wrong,
stop talking about my sports.
Listen, if you think I'm wrong, I need you to look at the different sports. Golf, tennis,
bowling,
F1 Formula Racing, bowling, fishing, right?
But
those are more on the conservative side of sports. And who plays golf? A lot.
Well, my dad is a semi-pro.
Charles Barkley.
Donald Trump.
He plays.
Do he not? I thought
Wait, $20 million. He's been in office since January. $20 million in golf.
I know why people vote now.
Why they vote, T?
So they can go on Instagram and show the little sticker.
That's exactly why they vote.
That's why they do it.
They get more likes.
Wait a minute. I'm getting gypped out of my sticker. I do a
They
mail-in
want to
ballot.
say, I voted today. Great.
I do a mail-in ballot. I'm getting gypped out of my sticker.
I'm going to the polls and I'm robbing everybody for the stickers. Give me the stickers.
I voted.
Selling them outside. Selling them outside.
So I will say this. My grandma, right? So my grandma's Democrat, and I understand she's 82 years old.
Hey, Grandma.
Yeah, so
shout out to Grandma.
So my grandma is like so mad that I didn't vote. It just made her so mad, and she mailed hers in. She didn't even go to the polls. Let me tell you what she did. She said, "I need you to take these to the ballot drop-offs." I said, "I see two here."
That's right.
So I'm looking.
Get them, Granny.
I said, oh no, I ripped my joint up. You ain't about to have.
She's about to vote for you.
Yeah, I said, nah. Like,
all right, Grandpa.
I know he wasn't trying to slide me with
Get him, Granny.
Nah. So with the whole thing, and she can't stand Trump, But I'm, at her age, I don't mind her, watching Trump because it gives us something to look at throughout the day, give us something to talk about. I don't really care for the Trump thing, but give us something to talk about. You can't believe. Let me tell you what this mother beep said on the joint. I mean, what did he say, man? I said, what? He said that? That's crazy. But
I'm not liking the bass and the aggressiveness.
I know my voice, right? It's bad. It's really bad. It's so bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it gives that's the only thing he probably good for is like having old people have people talk about.
That is the only thing he's good for. He's only good for staying in the headlines.
Yeah, that's it.
He's not good for governing.
And
none of these people.
But technically, he's not running. He's not running anything. That's Elon Musk.
I'm still trying to get it. I don't.
No, it's not Elon Musk. It's Peter Thiel.
Peter Thiel.
When you said Elon Musk was part of,
he was part of OpenAI.
Right.
He was.
That's Peter Thiel and two other individuals. They dropped Elon Musk. Elon Musk had to, I guess, humble himself because when his fourth SpaceX mission thing didn't take off, Peter Thiel and the organization gave him $20 million so he can launch his fourth SpaceX thing. Peter Thiel is also the same person that funded J.D. Vance.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So Peter Thiel, behind the scenes, he's the one that's calling the shots with Trump, Vance, and Musk.
Talk about it, Ty.
You know,
That's deep.
Talk about it, Ty.
he was also part owner, I think, is LinkedIn.
Yes.
He might be on
Oh,
as
okay,
well.
wow.
Yes,
So,
and what you have to realize though, Ty, you dropping some bars here. It ain't the people that you see that you should be worried about.
It's the people that you don't see.
The ones
It's
you
pulling all
don't
the
see.
strings.
That you should be worried about.
But listen, let me go
Pay
back to what
attention,
they
pay
saying.
attention.
They want us to vote though.
because you give up.
There he
your-
go again with the base and the aggression.
This is just ludicrous.
How could you, Terrence?
No, but you give up your rights when you vote, and that's what they.
That's
want
why I
you to do.
stopped
You give up
voting.
your rights.
Ty, I would like for you to explain that if you possibly can.
Well, see, when you register anything,
Mm-hmm.
you're giving up your natural rights. So when you register your child at birth, you give up the rights to that child because you fill out the birth certificate.
Mhm.
You register your child at birth.
Mm-hmm.
When you register your vehicle, you give up your rights to that vehicle. You give it to the state because now it's owned by the state because you registered your vehicle to the state.
Right.
When you register to vote, you're saying I'm going to give up my natural rights for federal or lesser rights. So that's why they do the BS and the DS to us, because we don't have the rights. We gave them to them. We say you can do whatever you want. That's basically what it is when you vote.
Ty don't vote.
Yeah, you don't vote either.
When
See, I don't vote.
As soon as you register and turn it in, that's it. You give up your
I don't
rights.
vote, man. It's just like, but it's very simple, right?
Yeah.
That's how I look. It's very simple. And I go back, like I said before, I stand on that. I'm on child support.
Right.
You want my vote. I missed these payments. I'm in jail, but I voted. So where is the point of me voting? Why is it important? And this is just one of the issues that we have, right? And this is just alone. So Pennsylvania is what? Commonwealth state?
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's a Commonwealth state. So it's like even it goes back to it all. So why are we not talking about the issue of, which I know is not going to change? They can just let you go at a job for nothing. You
Call
know
it
what,
at
Jim?
will.
Jim.
I decided at will not
You-
to come in today.
Yeah, you know what, Jim? You know what, Jim? I don't like you, man. You're done. You can go.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's the way they
saying?
are.
And it's just like we don't have like, it's just like, and I'm always, at my age that I am, and I'm just like, the best thing that we can do as far as for solution is really creating stuff for ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what it's telling us, because that's it.
Ty,
That's
how
it.
long you been on that?
Yeah.
I mean, that Ty, that's like your calling card.
Right.
If we don't start doing for ourselves right
That's
now,
Yeah.
we won't have a future. And
Plus, I'm just tired of seeing the white dude with the spiky hair with the Mountain Dew come in and sitting down next to me. I'm tired of it. If I see one more job where I see the white boy with the Mountain Dew come in and sit next to me, man, I'm over it, man.
with his khaki and a polo shirt.
Not even that. They do the spiky hair now with the glasses. Like, hey, you really pumped up for this? And I'm like, I'm not pumped up for none of this, Carl. Your little cheese sandwich, whatever you got in your damn shit, man. And we all know that. We all know that we got.
It's coming out, man.
Yo, Top. Come on, Top. Every job got that white boy
It's coming out
with the monster drink. He got the monster drink, Top. He's coked up.
He got the Red Bull.
He got the Red Bull.
He got the Red Bull from the night before.
His ass did not blink since we got in this motherfucker. Okay, and you got to work with him.
But all he gonna do is go home and game at night. That's all he gonna do tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's it.
he's gonna
He ain't
game.
doing nothing else.
Hey,
He go
pumped up.
He go
Go.
play. He go play Grand Theft Auto. Or he gonna go play. He gonna go play. What's the other one, Ty? What's the other one?
Duty.
Call of Duty.
Yeah,
time.
he
He gonna Call of Duty time.
No, and it's just like and I just sit there and I'm just like, if I think here they go. Here go another one. Yeah, dude, just get pumped up. Let's go. Let's work. Let's go. I'm like, bro, I was an hour long in traffic, bro. What are you talking about?
Plus, I'm not even the same age as you, brother.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not even the same age.
This
as
doesn't
you, man.
excite me like you think it excites you. You know what I'm
what?
saying?
You know what one of my friends say? If you see somebody come to work with wrinkled pants on, a wrinkled shirt, don't trust them. Don't trust
Because they don't care about their job.
No, but they gonna have their job.
When they don't
You know
care
what I
about
mean?
their
They don't
parents.
care about themselves, so they ain't gonna care about you. And most white people don't iron. Let's keep it real. They wear Dockers.
It's coming out.
Let's talk about it. They don't wear. I'm sorry. Look. You know what's bad? I got this shirt on. And I'm talking about it.
Terrence shirt says
he's racist.
Yo, his shirt says Black Panther Party. All power to the people.
This asshole. This mother effer. Cause look, it's the obvious, right? It's the obvious, man. And look, y'all laughing because y'all know it's the truth.
No, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
I mean, I couldn't tell you that it's not true.
Look, my clothes. Y'all supposed to hire me off of my skills.
Look, one more thing. You know what I don't like, man? Every time I go into a public bathroom, they always taking a shh. And they don't wash their hands.
But then they want to shake your hand.
They want to shake your hand. And I'm just like, no. You know what they do? They go in there and they put their hands in the water and they grease their hair back like that.
It's coming out.
This is office culture. This is office culture. This is corporate. This is corporate America.
Get the dirt with tea, man. Get the dirt with tea, man. Office.
See what else happened at work.
How dare you come in smelling good looking like that? I don't even smell good as him. He got a nerve to be going to Chick-fil-A and I brought my lunch. He got lunch money every day.
Got an avocado sandwich.
Hey. Pump your brakes.
Sourdough bread.
No, that's Katie. That's Katie with the toast with the avocado.
Avocado toast with the sunny side up eggs with a little bit of salt and pepper on the wheat bread.
And her soy macchiato.
Yeah.
Yes. You stop talking about me. I'm right here.
Is that what
She got her sweater and all that knit sweater. It's so cold in the office, and I
need my probiotics.
Yeah, I'm just here in the office right now. Are you cold? I know I'm cold. Got some avocado toast and
everybody listening right now. If you black person and you work in corporate America,
listen,
cubicles, you know what we talking about.
You know what we talking about.
Don't sit around and act like y'all ain't been in them situations
I just feel
before.
so violated right now. The way you guys are just talking about me.
The avocado toast?
Hey,
I didn't vote for avocado toast.
Avocado.
And thanks
I'm very
to Trump,
health conscious.
my avocado toast just went up $3. Okay, thank you, Trump, for charging everybody in your tariffs craziness. You gonna charge Mexico? Come on, Mexico. You know how much stuff we get from Mexico? Mexico is the hookup country.
See,
okay,
you guys are struggling. I have an avocado tree.
We was getting hooked up on cars, on avocados, on oranges, on everything from Mexico.
You guys didn't listen to me. Didn't I tell you guys to start planning your own stuff?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cat.
He wanna talk about. He want to start putting 25% tariff on my hookup stuff.
Listen, we got a president who said that.
Hookup stuff.
Yes, he did. Y'all voted for him. Y'all voted for him.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I'm just taking all the black jobs.
Listen, all the black jobs. You want to talk about it? We voted for that.
Yeah.
The black jobs.
The black jobs.
And you ask him what the black jobs are, he has no clue.
Trump sounds like a used car salesman. We got billions and billions of cars here.
No, bro.
Trillions.
Bro.
And billions and trillions.
Yo, bro. Have you heard a commercial on the radio? Somebody imitated him on a car commercial? This is fantastic.
We spent millions and millions. I'm like, well, why do we still got homeless people with all these billions and millions?
Yo, that man's vocabulary is like the size of a 6-year-old. That dude talks like
ginormous.
He talks like my 5-year-old. My 5-year-old talks better than him. My son come up to me and tell me stories. Between him and Trump, I'm trying to decipher who's worse.
Shit,
and I love my son. So my son is 5. I love his stories.
Man.
Trump stories, I'd be like, bro, I don't know. I don't know, bro.
When he started eating the dogs, eating the cats, I was like, you know what?
I don't know, bro.
I turned it off.
I don't know. You're a little sus.
I turned it off.
You're a little sus, as the kids say. You're a little sus.
He's grabbing stuff by the vagina. I mean, I'm just trying to.
You a little sus. You're a little sus.
Hey.
Oh, man.
But if I
even got arrested and y'all still put him in office.
Listen, if I could just talk about this real quick. I know we've been joking a lot tonight, but
that's all Terrance.
Man, you gotta laugh.
Listen, you gotta laugh through the pain. And you gotta laugh through the pain. And see what we do for a living, what we do for our livelihoods, our passions, our love, the want to take care of our families. What we do with this speech thing behind his mic, I don't think people realize is right now in dire straits. They are arresting people. They arrested a dude who had a green card and he was just protesting for the Palestinians in Palestine. Mm-hmm. And they arrested this man because he was head of an organization that was protesting. And they threw him in jail. He's still locked up right now for nothing because of what we talk about, because of the voices that we use, the speech that we have. The fact that we're able to fight back using our voice is really our only means right now. So unless we we realize, America, people listening, West Philly, Philadelphia at large, county, the borough, Pennsylvania, unless we realize that we are in a very important time right now.
Yeah.
This is more critical than the civil rights movement. This is more critical than even Reconstruction. This is more critical than when our parents were growing up, when their parents were growing up. Right now is a more critical time than ever before. And I didn't want to tell you not to vote. I didn't want to tell you to go vote. I just want to hear your opinion about why you feel voting is important or it's not important. And obviously tonight, Brother Terrance came in and explained his point of view as to why voting on his side is not important.
I'm just saying, until they handle that whole child support thing,
Get rid
they
of
won't
it.
get nothing from Terrance.
Terrance will stand. He will stand in no line. None.
I ain't mailing nothing.
I'm not mailing. I'm not standing in line. I'm not
talk
picketing.
to me.
I'm not protesting.
I'm gonna be over here at the beauty shop with my sweatpants
There you go.
Getting numbers. But I mean, family, it's a critical time for us right now. And, you know, I spoke about what happened earlier with the young lady. She was telling me, you know, she ain't vote, blah, blah, blah. Or she didn't like to get in politics. I need everybody to stop saying that. Stop saying you don't get into politics. Stop saying politics is not important to you. Your everyday life is politics. When you go pay your utility bills, that's politics. When you go put gas in your car, that's politics. When you go to the grocery store, that's politics. When you go buy toilet paper to go that's politics. All right? When you go pick up your child and pay their copay for childcare, that's politics.
Oh, honey, say it again.
Okay?
Jeez.
When
Childcare.
when you are paying your internet bill and it's astronomical and you don't know why, that's politics.
Hold on. When they limit how much toilet paper or how many paper products you could take from a store.
That's politics. When COVID comes and shuts down a country,
and the
that's
measles,
politics.
Because that's on the rise.
Okay? And the measles, bird flu, that's politics. All right? So I just want
3 eggs per customer.
The three cartons of eggs per customer.
No, 3 eggs, not 3 cartons. 3 eggs per customer.
Y'all better than me because I go find a way to get the eggs.
At $5.99 each.
So you know, I mean, listen, I want everybody out there in the land to go out and vote. You know, express yourself. Go out there and vote, man. Make a change for the United States of America.
Terrance.
You know, do that. Make sure you go ahead and vote. It's very important, and just vote.
Terrance, I smell a hint
of your voice.
There is a hint of sarcasm.
His tone is off balance.
Just a small,
you're scaring the people, man. You're
just a smidget, Terrance.
I'm scaring everybody.
Just a smidget of sarcasm. I didn't know the rest of it. I thought it was very truthful. Honestly, I thought it was very truthful.
Go out and vote. That's it. So everybody that go out and vote, I just want to know, man, did your paycheck change? Did your paycheck change? Did the bill stop coming?
I got a 2% raise.
What was that? Okay.
2%.
All right. 2%.
In the building, 2%.
Listen, I just need my paycheck to go up.
Did healthcare change?
Nope. Your paycheck ain't go up. Healthcare ain't change. Well, let me tell you what did happen with your vote, family. Let me tell you what did happen. Whether you did or you didn't vote, what happened was your cost of living just increased.
The taxes on my house right now is crazy.
Just went increased. Okay?
Bananas.
Everything.
You know what
just
I think?
increased.
You know what I think, though, not to get off topic? I just think people just start having more sex, man. Just like, you know what I mean? At this point, I know, and Jim, I'm not trying to get off the subject here, but we live, everybody uptight.
Pause. No, we can't do that. We can't do that. There's no birth control, man.
No. That's the problem. People are not out. People are frustrated. No, Jim. No, Jim. No. Hear me out here. People are frustrated out here. You know what I mean? They're frustrated. It's too much intent.
Don't listen to Terrance.
This is why the porno industry is at $1 billion-something right now. People, they got to release.
No more.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to X videos.
They just shut it down, didn't they?
Don't listen to Terrance.
Why not?
But look, you want to talk about that? You know,
in X videos.
You know, and listen, in some states, right?
Yeah.
You can't watch that no more.
That's bad.
So, and this is who you voting for. In some states, you can't watch that anymore.
That's right. A lot of people are not releasing, man. That's the problem. Nobody not happy no more. The eggs, everything up. This is what we got. We might as well.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Might as well. Not to get off topic.
Wait a minute, hold, pause. I know the brother did not come in here preaching about child support and they're going to tell people make more babies.
I didn't say make no babies.
Support.
I didn't say make babies.
Gonna make a baby.
Put a bag on it. Just put a bag on it. Look. Put it. No, I didn't say that. I said put a bag. Look, put a bag on it. Just
condom
put a bag
cost
on
$5.99. $5.99 one condom.
Yeah, you can get the skins ones and all that. You get the thin.
Go ahead.
You get the skin, the skin ones, the extra thin ones. Listen, after you release whatever, you feel better.
You lay, you pay. $5.99 for one condom. You lay, you pay.
My phone just went dead, Joe. Oh shoot. Oh man. And that's a true story. That happened to me one time. I went to a massage parlor.
You pay. You pay now. $5.99.
Yup. She said that. I was like, that's all it costs?
I take a good care of you, but you pay.
She about to give me the best time of my life. Listen. They do pay and lay. I'm trying to tell you. They got that red light on in there in that room.
You go upstairs. I shower you down. Take a good care of you. I know. I've been there.
Sucky, washy.
I've been there. They take a good care of you. They wash you on table.
They wash you on table. You know what? For that, I gotta go to the restroom.
With
man.
ivory soap. With ivory soap too. Ivory soap.
Ty got me laughing.
Yo, I was not expecting this tonight, yo.
No, right?
I was not expecting this tonight.
That's how you end the show.
Good job.
Woo! Yo.
Good job.
I'm waiting on the phone calls tomorrow.
Right.
Jimmy. I went to see your show last night.
You coming to the office?
Jimmy,
we're not going to hear that.
we're gonna have to come on and talk to you later on. We got to think about the FCC, Jimmy. Come get me, FCC. I need to be famous.
Wow. You started it.
Yo.
Started?
So you say Terrance started it?
Started it.
Yes, she did, right.
Yeah.
She did start it, though. That's your fault. Talk about you started
I
it.
was confused. 2 seconds ago, he was complaining
I
about
know,
child
right?
support. Then he's going to tell everybody to go out there and have kids. I'm like, wait a minute, pause. Wait a minute. Can't have
I'm
both
telling
ways.
you, yo. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Well, we're going to wrap the show, family, as this has been a great show.
Interesting.
I'll always find it great when we can do shows and I talk to Lise. It's great. It's great. But this has been dope. I want to thank my man Terrance for coming in and dropping some bars, dropping his jewels of knowledge, as we always call it. Yeah. T, what you feel? T, what you feel about what Terrance was saying?
I mean, I get it. I really do. I understand. And, I guess if I was in Terrance's shoes and I was frustrated when it comes down to child support, and that was his concern, and between the Republicans and the Democrats, nobody was able to solve his problems nor answer any of his questions, I wouldn't vote either. You know what I mean? Apparently that was his concern. Other people, when it comes down to voting, have different concerns. But for Terrance, it came down to child support. And if you couldn't solve his problem or answer his question, you wasn't going to get his vote.
Yeah.
So I get it, and he might absolutely be right. It might be a lot of people out there that their reason for not voting pretty much may have been based on child support. He's not the only one.
Yeah.
I give it to him.
He's not. Not.
But you know what they say, if you don't vote, you just voted.
Right. Because you did. If you don't vote, you just voted.
You just voted, yeah. So
that's the truth.
That's
you don't vote, they vote for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know that.
Yeah, when you don't vote, they vote for you.
So thank you, Terrance.
Oh well.
How you feel, man?
Yeah, I mean, Terrance made some good points,
Yeah, he did.
But again, the system is set up a certain way that presidents can't change it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just a system.
Yeah,
that's true. T, how you feel, bro? You came in here and dropped some bars.
Yeah.
What's good?
For me, I just really want people, if it's really in a change that really wants to be, it really starts with the young people. And it really is the state that you're in. Start knocking on them state representative doors. You got access to them, right? Start going down there, start making the way, but they're not doing that because they're not being focused on that. I went to my state representative.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna mention never mind. But I called him.
No. No. Let's mention him. Hold him accountable.
Okay.
Who is it?
Okay.
Who ain't even
Kenyatta.
Kenyatta.
All right.
Kenyatta.
Yeah. First of all, let me tell you about this fool. First of all,
Talk about it, T. Let's get it going.
I asked him.
Hold him accountable.
I asked him. All he had to do was give me an answer. I took a test for something, and I was asking him because the test that I took, first of all, the state made me. I took the test for 3 hours for a probation officer. Right?
Okay.
They would not give me my results because they say I didn't qualify because I didn't have the paper. The thing you go 4 years in and you sit in front of somebody. You know what I'm talking about? The board, the college.
Oh,
right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I was like, okay, cool. But what I found out is that once you in the state, when you're grandfathered in, you don't need it. So I was like, what? So I was like, all right, well, do you know anybody? So I was like, well, let me go to my state representative to see if I can at least get my test results or see what they're saying. Right? Even if you don't know, you can steer me in the right direction. I called him 187 times.
Damn, not did he kill me.
Never picked up the phone. I went down there, talked to the lady at the front. She gonna tell me, well, maybe you can go. I'm not going to school for 4 years for something that somebody can get in that doesn't have it. Well, I'm wasting my time. Just be honest with me. Never returned my calls. You know what they did? She directed me to another state representative in another district. Yes. And they did the same thing. And I was like, y'all playing. But you know who pops up on TV when something happened?
Kenyatta.
Yeah, his little raggedy ass come up there with his ashy ass lips coming up in there telling me to be doing this and doing that. And let me tell you about this fool. Who was the retired councilman up there? The black dude that was president. The president of city council.
Kenyatta Johnson.
No. Was it Derek? What's his name? He was the president. He just retired. He was the president of the city council. He's not no more.
Yeah, I don't know that name.
I forgot his name, but that fool, he was responsible for a lot of gentrification in North Philly. He said he built houses for homes and all that. No, he didn't. You allowed them to come in there and build them condos. You ever see them condos in there, how they build them in like 5 minutes or whatever? He's responsible for that. You're responsible for that.
The ones that's made out of plywood?
Yeah.
You talking about the ones when the wind blow?
Yeah.
They blow too.
He allowed the developers not to get off subject, but he allowed the developers to come in there and do that because he gets a kickback.
Hey.
Is it Darrell Clark?
Darrell Clark.
There you go.
Darrell Clark.
There you go.
That's
Darrell Clark. He's responsible for all the bull BS, whatever it is, and he's cool with Kenyatta, who is.
They all cool. They all cool. And this, they all cool.
Terrance over here is flicking his
They
wrist all kinds of crazy.
I'm saying,
He over here
I'm
doing the
just saying.
11th and locust.
Bowling.
11th and locust. 11th and locust.
But I bet you if it was one of his own, some things would have been pulled. Some strings would have been pulled.
Yeah. See, I don't know nothing about that. I'm not gonna venture.
But not to get too off subject, but I think that they sit and you got to really push them. You got to really, really push them, and they don't want to be pushed because they don't want to do their job.
Well, at this point, they probably got you blackballed and blocked and deleted and erased. And,
what I
mean? They people probably watching you.
They see me. I said, listen, there's been a pothole in front of Mrs. Johnson's place for years, and y'all ain't doing nothing about it yet.
You're on a sinkhole
now. I swear,
now.
I'm about to be like that dude on New Jack City, the old head. Just get it done my damn self.
Right.
Terrance, we're gonna write you up because
I know
we don't like your.
That's what she said. She really said,
we don't like your.
And she really went through the act of it all.
Yeah, she went through the act of it all.
She was so red. And I was like, yeah, explain it to me. How was it? Like, say it.
She liked you, Terrance. That's
I don't know what, but not with that big forehead. As big as her forehead, she ain't seen nothing coming.
Does she have a first and last name?
Huh?
Does she have a first and last name?
Yeah.
We might as well put it out there right now.
But everybody else want to believe.
I know her first name is Katie.
Hold on. Don't say her last name.
I don't know her last name.
So don't put that girl on blast.
I ain't put her last name out there.
Don't put that lady. Somebody may come back from this 6 months later and be like, "Hey, yo, Katie, you heard you on the radio?
Yeah,
you heard they talk about you on the radio, Katie?"
I'm not gonna put her last name out there though. But I will say this: she had a big forehead, man. I say this,
if your name is Katie and you have a big forehead, he might be speaking about you.
Katie, I'm sorry.
I told her.
It was just for your autograph. That's all.
I just told her. I asked her. I said, I did say this to her. I did say this to her because they was letting me go that day anyway. And I was like,
He said, I'm going to speak my piece.
I said, as big as your forehead is, you don't see nothing coming. You being a manager. You don't see nothing coming.
And on that note,
I told her that.
On that note,
his tone is out of control.
Listen, on that note, family,
I felt so good when I said that.
Listen,
it's gonna haunt her for the rest of her life. My ancestors came back. They think they come back for that.
They came back dancing. Shout out to my man, my brother, my podcast brother, Mr. Terrence Henry of the Terrence Henry Experience. Make sure you go check out where to get his podcast on all podcast platforms. I guarantee you, whatever you heard tonight, you will hear more of that on his podcast. Thank you, good brother. Greatly appreciate you for coming on. This has been dope, dynamic, influential, strengthening, love, glory, and harmony.
We got to be that way, man.
All sitting here in this room.
Yeah.
But I appreciate y'all, man. We thank y'all for listening each and every week right here at WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. And as always, family, remember, you always call us with your comments, your questions, 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JINNYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Until the next episode, you can find us on Good Hope Road. Screaming, stay up. Don't sleep in your dreams. And remember, call somebody. Somebody you talked to recently, somebody you haven't talked to recently. Call them and tell them that you love them. Because you never know when you might get another chance. My brother Ty, my sister T, my brother Terrance, I'm Jimmy Bonds, and we out. Peace.
Peace.